Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss the exciting developments in the unpredictable love story of James and Diep. Dear viewers, in this episode we will witness the emotional moments of James and Diep after a long journey of searching and facing numerous challenges. Diep has gone through a life-threatening crisis after eating a poisonous fruit in the deep forest. But will the power of love bring them back together, or will they have to part ways forever in a heartbreaking conclusion? This is the question we will answer in the next chapter of this intense story. James and Diep's love has always been full of turbulence, but each challenge has only brought them closer, determined to find one another. From the dangers of the deep forest to emotional reunions and the final moments of hope. Everything has led to this moment where James stands at the edge of life and death with the person he loves. Will love help them overcome it all, or is fate already sealed and they must continue their lives alone? Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss the exciting developments in this tear-jerking love story. Every episode brings us one step closer to the resolution of James and Diep's poignant and hopeful journey. Don't miss out, as the moments of tension and surprises are still waiting ahead. Diep continued her long journey to return home to the place where the person she loved was waiting. However, the road ahead had never been easy for her. Every step she took was weighed down by hardships and challenges. One day, as she passed through a vast cornfield, Diep had no choice but to find work in order to earn money and continue her journey. She asked for a job as a corn harvester, hoping to earn enough to get home sooner. She worked tirelessly under the scorching summer sun without a single complaint. She only focused on working hard, driven by one reason: love. The hope of being reunited with her beloved was the only motivation that helped her push through all the difficulties. Despite her hands becoming calloused and her body exhausted, her heart remained full of perseverance. When the corn harvesting work was over, Diep received her wages for the long, hard day. She felt relief and told herself that as long as she had some money in hand, everything would soon end and she would be reunited with James. Diep quickly boarded a bus to continue her journey, but life seemed to constantly test her. Contrary to her expectations, the driver tricked her. He purposely left Diep stranded in the middle of a desolate road before she reached her destination. He had planned to steal her money, but his plan failed. Diep stood there, watching the bus disappear in the distance, her heart filled with disappointment. She couldn't believe that the person she had trusted could deceive her. The feeling of sadness and emptiness spread through her body. Diep just hoped to meet James soon to unload all her sorrow. With a small amount of money and no hope for other rides, Diep continued to walk down the long road. After all, she couldn't stop. She couldn't give up. Her longing for her loved one was the only thing keeping her from falling. Every step she took brought her closer to the warmth of home where James was waiting. As Diep walked lost in her thoughts, a familiar sight suddenly appeared before her eyes. She stopped her heart tight as she witnessed a drunk husband holding a beer bottle using violence against his wife and young child. This scene reminded her of the painful memories of her own past, the difficult days when Diep was also a victim of domestic violence. Without hesitation, Diep quickly stepped in and intervened. She rushed between the drunk husband and the mother and child, determined not to let them suffer any more harm. Even though she no longer had much strength left, Diep felt she had to do something to act in order to protect them. With all the courage she could muster, she stood firmly in front of the drunk husband, refusing to let him take another step. She called for help from people around, but her eyes never left the wife, who was hunched in fear. When the drunk husband finally left, Diep gently pulled the wife and child to safety. She led them to a safer place and sat down beside the mother, comforting and reassuring her. Diep didn't say much, but her gentle words were enough for the woman to understand that she wasn't facing her pain alone. "I understand how you feel," Diep said, her eyes shimmering with tears. "You will get through this. Just believe in yourself." Those words were like a glimmer of light in the darkness for the woman. Diep understood that she had once gone through the same painful days. She had once felt trapped in a dark corner with no way out, but she had found the strength to stand up. And today, she was the one helping someone else, bringing hope to another. Although the road ahead was still long, Diep had learned that even the smallest light could drive away the darkness. With a heart that had grown through hardship, Diep continued to walk the challenging road, but now she was no longer alone. She had helped someone, been a source of hope for another, And above all, she understood that only love and perseverance could overcome everything. A great surprise came when James, on his journey to find Diep, suddenly saw a familiar figure. It was a woman he had been searching for all these days. His emotions overflowed, and he couldn't believe what he was seeing. It was Diep, the girl he had always dreamed of, the one he had been relentlessly searching for, now standing before him in the vastness of the world. James couldn't stop. He quickly pulled over, his heart beating faster than ever. The scene felt like a dream that he had thought would never become reality. When they looked at each other, everything around them seemed to stop. Diep's eyes were sparkling with tears of happiness, not from sorrow or disappointment, but from the overwhelming joy of finally finding him. They both moved closer, their warm hands grasping each other as if they never wanted to let go. And then, in that moment, they ran into each other's arms, holding tightly as if they wanted to become one. All the pent-up emotions from all this time erupted, and happiness surged within them. No one could hold back the tears of joy. It was a quiet moment, but full of meaning. They didn't need to say anything because everything that needed to be said was conveyed through their gazes, their tender gestures. The sky seemed to burst open, and a wave of happiness enveloped everything. The atmosphere was so warm, like a healing balm for all the wounds from the past. At that moment, it wasn't just James and Diep, but also Officer Lee, who was standing nearby and witnessed everything from a distance, unable to hold back his own emotions. His tears were a sign of empathy, of sharing in the happiness he had witnessed for these two people who had overcome so many obstacles to be together. James didn't want to make Diep wait any longer. He quickly took her home, where his mother was waiting. For James, Diep wasn't just his lover, but also a spiritual healer who could help his mother recover. His mother had been ill for a long time, and her exhaustion and worries had prevented her from finding peace. Now, Diep, the girl his mother loved dearly, was the one who could lift her spirits and give her the strength to fight her illness. When they arrived at the house, James opened the door and Diep walked in. Without saying a word, she rushed to hug James's mother. The mother looked at her eyes clouded by illness, but her face was filled with an indescribable joy. James's mother embraced Diep with a loving hug. Both of them held on tightly, tears streaming down their faces, not from pain, but from the immense joy of finally being reunited. James's mother choked out, "Thank you, my dear, for bringing my strength back. I truly don't know what to say, except thank you for bringing Diep safely back to us." These words felt like a prayer, a profound appreciation for Diep, who had brought hope and happiness to this family. That day, the entire family was filled with joy. The long dark days, the hardships and the pain that Diep and James had endured finally came to an end. Together, they had overcome everything, and now they could live in happiness in the embrace of love. A family reunited, a love reborn, everything felt like a miracle. With Diep's return, that day became the happiest day in James and his mother's lives. It marked the end of the dark times and the beginning of a brighter future, one filled with love, hope, and the sweet moments they had longed for. In the end, they had found each other, and that was the most important thing. As James and Diep's love story truly ended, the dark days opened in a new chapter full of happiness and hope. After all the challenges, suffering, and times they were forced to be apart, can they finally find peace in each other's arms? Are the sweet moments they've just shared the beginning of eternal love, or just a brief light flickering in the darkness? The answer will be revealed in the upcoming episodes, as James and Diep's love will face new trials. Their journey is not over. There's still so much ahead that they need to overcome. Will they build a bright future together, or will the shadows from the past stand in their way again? Don't miss the next episode to follow this emotional story where love, hope, and perseverance will be tested once again.
Liệu còn những âm mưu nào đang rình rập gia đình Diêm? Diêm có thể bảo vệ được những người thân yêu khỏi những nguy hiểm đang rình rập, đang đến gần hay không? Và liệu cảnh sát có tìm ra kẻ đứng sau tất cả mọi chuyện khi mọi chuyện quá muộn? Căng thẳng đang đến đỉnh điểm, và một thứ chưa bao giờ nguy hiểm như vậy. Diêm đang đối mặt với một kẻ thù sẵn sàng làm mọi thứ để hủy hoại gia đình mình, và thời điểm đang trôi qua rất nhanh. Những ngày đi qua, mối nguy hiểm lại càng tăng lên, và những âm mưu Ron đang càng trở nên khó đoán. Diêm đang làm một cách để bảo vệ những người yêu thương, nhưng liệu có đủ? Khi cuộc điều tra sâu hơn, câu hỏi vẫn còn bỏ ngỏ ai mới thực sự là người điều khiển mọi chuyện này. Liệu cơ quan chức năng có thể tìm ra những manh mối phơi bày sự thật, hay John sẽ tiếp tục thoát khỏi sự truy đuổi của họ, luôn đi trước một bước? Bí ẩn vẫn tiếp tục được hé lộ và sự căng thẳng càng trở nên không thể nào chịu đựng được. Bạn không muốn bỏ lỡ bất kỳ phút giây nào, hãy ấn đăng ký và bật chuông theo dõi để đón chờ chương trình tiếp theo.